Lysenko. Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Now the information about the events that happened in the ATO area during the last 24 hours and about course of training of Ukrainian armed forces. Yesterday in Lugansk area, the forces of the occupants opened fire twice at Ukrainian positions with the use of 120mm mortars, once in Katerinovka and twice in Krymska. In Stanitsa Luganska, there was one armed provocation with the use of small arms. In Katerinovka and Popasna, the enemy also used grenade launchers. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Lugansk sector, there were 6 shellings delivered by the enemy, half of which with the use of mortars. Donetsk area, the intensity of fire delivered by the militants is the same as during previous days. The militants repeatedly used mortars, and there were 3 mortar shellings in Verkhnyatoretsk, 2 in Avdiivka, and 1 in Zaitsevo. And the enemy launched at Ukrainian positions more than 60 mines of different caliber. In Pisky and Opetne, the occupants opened fire with the use of small arms, and in the region of Svetlodarsk Bulge it was come yesterday. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Donetsk sector, there were 17 enemy shelling, including 6 with the use of mortars. Yesterday in the Mariupol sector, the militants 3 times opened fire with the use of mortars. Once they shelled Krasnogorovka, Vodina and Shirokina. All other shellings were with the use of small arms and were in Pavlopil Shirokina part of front line. On the whole, during the last 24 hours in the Mariupol sector, there were 22 enemy shellings. During the last 24 hours, in the result of the military actions, no Ukrainian serviceman was killed, but 4 servicemen were wounded. Law enforcers continue to detain the militants and their proxies. Near Marienka, police officers detained DPR militant who went to Karachovo to get Ukrainian pension. It was identified that starting October 2015, during 3 months, this man was among the members of the household platoon of so-called Cossack Union of Donske forces. In the day he did some minor works, and at night he was patrolling and guarded perimeter of military units. He didn't get any money, that's why he left the militants and started to search other employment. And also in Mariupol, National Guard patrol detained a miner who was the participant of DPR group, and they checked his identity, and it was confirmed that he participated in the militant group and he is suspected of being a murderer. That's why he was brought to police department of Kalmyz. At the same time, in Odessa, State Border Guard Service detained a citizen of one of the Commonwealth of Independent States countries, and he is wanted for being a participant in a militant group. He legalized himself in Ukraine using fake documents, and law enforcers started to follow his activities when he started to place information on in social media and presented separatist propaganda there. And during the last 24 hours, SBU officers found 3 caches of ammunition in the ATO zone. Near Ivanovka, village von Vasky region, the SBU officers found a cache of ammunition. They confiscated rocket anti-tank grenade RGD-22, 7 grenades RGD-5 and F1, and cartridges of different caliber. Near Slavna village of Mariinsky region of the Donetchina, law enforcement confiscated anti-tank guided missile, 3 shells, 2 anti-tank grenade launcher, and 4 grenades, and more than 2.5 thousand of cartridges. And also in one of the abandoned summer cottages near Alexeyevo-Drushkivka village, Drushkivsky City Council of Donetsk Oblast operative officers also found a cache. They found 2 shells, 6 grenades F1, TNT block, and shell to RPG-7 grenade launcher and RGK cumulative grenade, and 2,000 cartridges of different caliber. At the same time, in Poltavshina, crews of tactical aviation had training to conduct air fights. Experienced military pilots improved their skills flying Su-27 airplanes and also shared their experience with young pilots. This was done under difficult meteorological conditions, both during the day and at night. And they used destroy aviation. That's why they were trained, because this is the priority to train young pilots. And in the south, military engineers were trained in building some fortifications. They created fences and fortification against paratroopers. Also, they improved the professional skills and delivered some anti-mine training and demining. They used different types of engineering techniques and different types of excavators and different types of equipment. And also, hero of Ukraine, Major General Igor Gordichuk met with the students of Military Institute of Kiev National University named after Shevchenko. And in the course of this meeting, this legendary man called Sumrak, he showed his experience of taking part in the events in the east of our country in spring 2014, and also shared new views on his views on the use of new military technologies. And through Novotroitsky checkpoint, 4 trucks went through, bringing 80 tons of food products from International Committee of Red Cross. If you have questions, please ask. If there are no, thank you for your attention.